Representative Titone.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today is Trans Day of Visibility, and this is a national and global day where we celebrate transgender people and our accomplishments to society. We continue to see more transgender representation at all levels of society, including government. Last year, Dr. Rachel Levine became the first openly trans person to be confirmed by the Senate to a federally appointed position. Which is a wonderful accomplishment. And additionally, today is dedicated to raising awareness of discrimination faced by transgender people worldwide. When I think about this day, I think about trans youth in particular. Many trans youth have been under attack across America with proposed bills that deny them necessary health care or participation in sports or bathroom access. And in some states, families with trans kids are fleeing because policies are trying to rip their families apart. The truth is, trans kids are just like any other kid and they deserve to be treated as such. We should just let those kids be kids. Because of the growing visibility trans people in many settings have, including people like myself, trans youth are starting to feel like they can be themselves. They're seeing people like themselves in careers they can aspire to. You know, it's a travesty to think that in some parts of our country they can't see themselves, but in other places they can. I'm really grateful to the governor who did a proclamation for today, as well as the President of the United States who did a proclamation for Trans Day of Visibility. Both the President and the governor want to see all of our citizens live with dignity and respect and safety free of discrimination. This is only the second time that any president has acknowledged Trans Day of Visibility. I'm really thankful to live in Colorado, and I know a lot of families with trans kids and trans people and gender nonconforming people are also glad to live here. So let's support trans kids and let's support trans families. And if you see someone or you know someone who's trans, reach out to them and tell them you recognize them, you see them, and that they're a valuable part of their society.
Thank you, Representative Titone. Representative Herod.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I too stand in solidarity with Trans Awareness or Remembrance Day?
This is Visibility.
Visibility Day, which is interesting because we have both. Because we know that trans people are disproportionately targeted in attacks and murdered simply for being who they are. But today we are here to celebrate trans people, especially our trans youth. We know that there are attacks against trans people across this country, against gay people across this country, and in fact, some states have even gone so far as to say that you cannot say gay, much less trans. But I'm here to tell you that that is not the case in Colorado. Stonewall was started by a group of drag queens and trans people who stood up and said no more attacking us for being who we are and living how we do. But they have been left out of society in the conversation for too long around LGBT rights, but not in Colorado. When Colorado passed inclusive laws to protect people regardless or because of their gender identity or sexual orientation, we did not leave trans out of the mix like other states did. We have always been inclusive. But that representation has not always translated, inclusiveness has not always translated into the representation that we need. And so today, while we honor the visibility of trans people, I think we have to give extra honor and kudos to our first trans member of the General Assembly, Breonna Titone. I have seen firsthand young trans people come up to Representative Titone in tears, saying thank you for being who you are, and thank you for showing me that I can be who I want to be. It's a true honor to serve with Representative Titone. It's a true honor to see how she inspires others. And to all of those trans youth and trans people out there, we want you to know as a Colorado General Assembly that we see you, we embrace you, and you are safe here in Colorado.
Majority Leader Esquer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I can't add much more than that. I just wanted to speak as a former director of an LGBT youth group, and to actually see how far we have come, and to have those same kids now be adults and being amazing role models for even newer youth. It's just been so incredible to see how that support, how that visibility has actually strengthened them and strengthened their lives and moved them forward to becoming amazing human beings. When we talk about suicide rates, we need to talk about why those suicide rates are the way they are. And when we are able to show kids that they can move forward and be exactly who they are and be successful and be happy, I think that's incredible. So I, too, want to just give a bunch of kudos to you, Representative Titone, for being an outstanding example of being who you are and appreciate what you do, not only for the people of Colorado, but your visibility to youth around the United States. Thank you.
Thanks, Madam Majority Leader.